वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेषु विज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं यथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नौमतिरप्यहेतुः Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1. So in the previous canto we read a story about Bhakti, how she has approached Kashyapa to take revenge from Indra. So the 7th canto begins with that story in mind, because Diti had said that Lord Vishnu is favoring Indra and he killed 2 of my sons. So therefore king, he asked the question based on that. So he says, Raja Uvacha Samapriya Skuhid Brahman Bhutanam Bhagavan Swayam Indrasya Arthe Katham Daityanavadhi Vishmo Yatha. He said that Lord himself is equanimous. He is not biased. He is dear to everybody. He is Suhit, he is friend of everyone. Bhutanam. So how is it that for the sake of Indra he killed Daityas as if he is biased? Because if someone is equanimous, then he is not going to side with anybody. He will stay neutral. So why did he help Indra? Why did he side with him and worked against Daityas? So this is a question. And then he continues on this idea of equanimity. Nahi yasya arthaha surganaihi sakshat nishvayasatmanah Naiva surebhyo vidvesho nodvega shagunasya. So sometimes people they favor someone because they expect something in return. So he says that he has nothing to achieve from the surganas, from the devas. Mahiyasya artha surganaya. Why? Because he himself is the personification of Nishreyas. Whatever good, whatever beneficial is possible, he has it. He doesn't need anybody's help, does not need anybody's favor. So why did he act like that? And one can also act because even if one does not gain something, but you favor somebody because that person is an enemy of your enemy. That's Rajniti, that's politics. So you make friendship with a person who hates your enemy. And then you don't directly attack the enemy, but you help this person. So he says he does not have any enmity with the asuras. He could have helped the devas, could have helped Indra, because he hates asuras. So he says, Naiva surebhyo vidvesho. He does not have nodvegas shagunasya. He is aguna, he is free from the gunas of nature, which bring duality. All the duality comes from the gunas of Prakriti. So he is beyond that, therefore he cannot be disturbed. As one could say, well, the asuras, they cause disturbance to him. And no one can cause disturbance to him because he is transcendental to all that. Itina sumahabhaga narayana gunan prati samshaya sumahan jata tadbhavan shetumarhati. So he says that a greatly fortunate one, this doubt has appeared in my mind about the qualities, the nature, the behavior of Lord Narayana. And this is a great doubt. So you are the one who is qualified to remove this doubt. Therefore, please do that. So this is the question raised by the king. So you read the commentary. Sri Krishnaya Namaha. First he does a long Mangalacharan. Then this is the beginning of new canto. Pranamya Sri Gurum Bhuyaha Sri Krishnam Karunarnavam Lokanatham Jagatchakshu Sri Shukam Tam Upashraye. So he says that I bow down to my Guru again and again, and also to Krishna, who is the ocean of mercy. I also, the word Loknath can apply to Krishna also. Loknath was one Acharya. In his lineage, Vishwanath Chakravarti appear. So either Krishna, who is the master of the universe and the eye of the universe, and it can also apply to Sukdev, Jagat Chaksu Sri Sukam Tampasya. I take shelter of Sri Sukdev, who is the eye for us, because he is giving us the knowledge to see things as they are. If you close your eyes, you can feel the table, but you don't know what color the cloth is. So with the eyes you can see things clearly. So Sukadeva Goswami, the Jagat Chakshu, because by understanding the Bhagavatam which he spoke, we can understand these objects clearly what they are. Goparamajana prana prayasayati prabhushnave tadiya priya dasyaya mam madhyamaham dade. So he says that I surrender to Lord who is the very life of the gopis and who is very powerful. And I surrender myself and everything I belong to his dear servant, Tadiya Priya Dasa, Mamadi Aham Dade. Then he speaks about the seventh canto. So, Uti Syad Vasna Satra Saptame Kathyate Dvidha Ashubha Cha Shubha Chapi Kopto Anugrahat Satam. There are 10 topics which are described in Bhagavatam. Atra Sarga Visargasya Sthanam Poshanam Utaya Manvantari Shankatha Nalodha Mukti Ashraya. These are the 10 topics which are described here. So one of them is Uti. This is, I think, 5th one. So Uti means desires, Vasana. We have Vasanas inside, in the seed form. Desires in their seed form are called Vasana. And then these seeds, they manifest as desires in our mind. And then we act on them. So these vasanas are described here. One of the topic which is described in Bhagavatam, the vasanas. The people have various types of vasanas. We read in the previous how Ditis, he had the vasana to take revenge. So he said these vasanas are of two types. There are Shubha Vasana and Ashubha Vasana. Auspicious or good ones and inauspicious or bad ones. So the good ones, they come by the grace of devotees, and the bad ones, they come by the anger of devotees. So if you please a devotee, then your heart will generate good desires. Desire to hear Bhagavatam, come to the class. Right? So this comes by the grace of devotee. It doesn't come just like that.
And the desire to please the devotee, where this one comes from?
This also comes by the grace of devotee. All the good vasanas come from the grace of devotees. And the bad ones come by displeasing them. Because there are two types of karma we do. Krishna karma, Shukla karma. We studied Yoga Sutras and they talk about Krishna karma, Shukla karma and Shukla Krishna karma mixed. White karma and the black karma and the mixture of white and black. So black means doing forbidden activities, immoral behavior. So this behavior also comes because a person has a desire like that. And the good ones, that also because of the desire. So he says these two things are described here in this chapter.
Babaji, I don't understand one thing. So, when a devotee blesses, you get good vasanas. But a desire to please a devotee is also a good vasana. So it comes even before you have any good vasana. It looks kind of circular, how it all starts. It's not the grace, right?
First the grace and then the desire.
Okay.
Cannot happen otherwise. So santascha trividha Shuddha bhakta jnanadi mishritam bhaktin dadhanas tasmin mishra jnanavantascha kirtitaha. So the devotees are also of three types. There are Shuddha bhaktas, pure devotees, who have no other intention except to serve the Lord without any motive, without any hidden agenda. Fully dedicated, as he himself said, Mam Madhyam Aham Dade, that I give everything I possess and myself to the devotee. So that is called Shuddha Bhakta, pure devotee. And then Jnanadi Mishritam, then there is a devotion which is mixed with Jnana. Means person desires perform bhakti because wants mukti as an outcome of that.
So what's Gyan? What it is, Gyan?
To desire liberation. Or to desire some material pleasure, going to heaven, good birth, high position. That is called karma mishra. So Jnanadi, the adi could have meaning of karma, etc. Or if you want some yogic siddhis, you can fly in the air, you can produce things by moving your hand. So you can also get such powers by performing bhakti. And then it is not pure bhakti. And then Mishra Jnanavantasya. And then there is people who perform bhakti as a secondary to jnana. So bhakti dadhana, they giving bhakti or executing bhakti, these are three types. Hiranyakashipo Swabhaviki ya vasana subha Tatra hetu sanandadi kopaha prachina edasa. So here we will read first the example of Ashubha Vasana or Vasana which is not good or inauspicious. So Vasana, the difference between Vasana and Samskara is that Vasana, the word is used mainly, which come from the previous life. It is also a Samskara only. Vasana is also Samskara, but it has some special characteristic because different name is used. Just like you may have a scientist and human being. Scientist is also a human being, but has some speciality. So Vasana is also a samskara and some speciality. Vasana is a samskara which comes from the past life. Everybody is born with certain inclination by birth. Some likings and dislikings. So that is the Vasana. So Hiranyakashipu, he had this Vasana from his previous life. Why? Because he was a big demon. So why he had this? Because he was cursed by Sanandan, the four Kumaras. The story we read earlier in 4th canto, the 3rd canto. We already read that story. These four Kumaras, they went to Vaikuntha. And the gatekeepers, Jayanuja, stopped them. They got angry and cursed them to take birth on earth. So they became Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, these two brothers. These were the killed sons of Diti. The whole story started in 3rd canto. So therefore it says Sanandadi Kopaha Prachina Evasa. So therefore this is the old Vasana. And Tasyapi Putroya Tasya Prahladasya Subhottama Suddha Bhakta Vasana Sri Naradangari Kripa Bharat. Then his son is Prahlad, and he was a very great devotee, which is a very amazing combination. Father, very big demoniac person, son, very great devotee. So he had Subha Vasana, Uttama, best, and this Vasana was about pure devotion. He was tortured so much by his father, but still he did not give up. Little boy, 5-year-old. So this came by the grace of Sri Narada. When he was in the womb, and he heard the instructions of Narada. So even before he was born, he got this. tat sanraksha satam agaha kunjarat tat prasadaja dīnata mānadatvādi silākrita mahakritihi. So now he says that if someone gets this vasana by the grace of a devotee, then one should protect it. It's like if you have a seed, because I said vasana is like a seed. If you have a seed, then it sprouts. So seed is safe as long as it is seed. But when it sprouts, then it becomes very soft, and one goat can come and eat it. Or somebody can trample on it, and it's finished. So he says, therefore it must be protected. From whom it has to be protected? It says kunjarat, from elephant. Because elephant has got very big legs, and if he steps, then it's finished. Or if it has grown, become a plant, then he has a trunk very strong, he can pull it out. You've seen elephant? So this elephant, what is this elephant? He says, this is satam agaha. This is an offense against a devotee. So if you commit an offense to a devotee, that is like an elephant which will destroy the seed of bhakti in your heart. Therefore one has to protect. So how to protect?
Not commit offense.
Just like if you have some, you want to sprout, then you make a boundary around it, right? The monkeys, you didn't say monkey, it's an elephant. Monkey, you put a net around it. So he says, therefore he says you build a wall, silakrita mahakriti, build a strong wall with stones, so that the elephant cannot break it.
I think only electric fence will do.
So this wall is made of dīnata mānadatvādi. Two qualities you have to have. If you have these two qualities, then that is like a wall against your bhakti, to protect it, against any danger to your bhakti. So number one is dīnata, humility. If you are proud, then you will commit offense, you will displease somebody. Because pride people, they disrespect, insult others. Or you get angry, criticize. All these problems come because of being proud. So he says, dīnata. And number two, mānadatvādi. Giving respect. If you have these two qualities, then you are safe. More or less. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had this sloka, which is very important for devotees. Krishnadas Kaviraj says that you should put this sloka in your neck, like an ornament, so that you never forget it. Pranadapi sunichena tarodi vaseshnana amanina manadena kirtanya sanaha.
How it's possible to be humble and not give respect to others? They seem connected somehow.
No, you can be humble, means you don't disturb anybody, you don't shout at anyone, you don't get angry. Somebody gets angry, you remain humble. But that doesn't mean that. Giving respect is an act in itself. Of course, that involves humility. So therefore it is specifically mentioned.
But also you cannot really give respect if you're not humble. It's a consequence.
But you can be humble and
Without
not
giving
give
respect.
So therefore first he mentions dīnata, then he mentions mānadatvādi.
No, that's that.
Right.
It's more, so it's more in the mind.
No, mana is respect. Mana actually comes from dhatu ma, to measure. The word maya also comes from that. Parimana, the measurement, they come from the same word. So mana means you measure somebody big. He's big. Because giving respect means to think yourself as low and other as high. So that is Swatkarsh Podhanukul Vyapar. Nyaya Paribhasha. Nyaya, they speak like this. And define. Swatkarsh Bodha Parotkarsh Bodhanukul Vyapara. That Apkarsha means down, swa means self. That to act, Vyapara means acting in a way that I am down and you are up, you are superior. Utkarsh.
And that's respect.
That is called respect.
Like proud is the opposite. You think
Proud,
yourself
of course, is Swautkarsh Bodhanukul Vyapara.
But if you have humility, that means, like you said, you can't have anger. If you are...
Right.
Because I thought humility would be more not to feel superior, not to...
You get angry only when you feel superior.
No, I think if you get hurt, you don't feel superior, but you can become angry because it touches
But
something.
if the person at whom you get angry is superior to you, then you don't become angry. Otherwise you don't think of him as superior. These two things don't go together. Then you are only saying that he is superior, but you actually don't understand what it means to be superior. That means you already lost the feeling of superiority for that person. So if you think the person is superior and he has hurt you, then you will tolerate it. You will not get angry.
But sometimes we don't even know why we become angry. Suddenly it comes without we know where
So
it
that
comes
means
from.
you are not aware. So this is a path of awareness.
Yeah.
This is not path of sleeping.
So can this Bhakti Lata Beach also affected if you have now this, sometimes the non-devotees, you lose your temper when you see, it can happen, or when you deal with outside people.
No, he's talking about devotees.
Okay.
Satama. If you get angry with non-devotees, then they may trouble you. They cannot destroy bhakti. They are not bhaktas themselves. So of course devotee does not harass anybody, devotee or non-devotee. So therefore he says, Bhakti Valli Nibhi Palya Shravanadyambu Sechanaihi Evam Katha Dasadhyayam Bhakti Kaivalyam Vikshayet. So protecting first, you have to protect the seed, the sprout. And then you also, it's not just protect, you also have to nourish it. So therefore he is comparing that now when it is grown up, he calls it Valli, creeper. Bhakti is like a creeper because it is soft and it goes up, but it needs support. So he says people should nourish their creeper of bhakti by pouring water on it. And what is the water? Shravanadiyam usage. Water in the form of hearing Bhagavatam, coming to class regularly.
Shravanadi?
Ambusajanayi. So if you cannot come to the class, you go to the YouTube, you listen there. So this is pouring water on the bhakti creeper. So he says, in this way, one should understand the first 10 chapters. There are 15 chapters in the 7th canto. He's giving a brief summary. So these 15 chapters, the first 10 chapters he says they are speaking about pure bhakti. And how bhakti can be disturbed and how bhakti can be nourished. Because there are two things he's talking about. Disturbance to bhakti and nourishment to bhakti. So this is the talk in the 10 chapters. First 10 chapters. And this is pure talk of pure bhakti. And then there are remaining 5 chapters. They are about mixed bhakti. Panchadhyayam katha bhaktehe pradhanyam gun bhutatam tadrid bhakta guru labhyam darshet tadrigaspade. So he says the 5 chapters they speak of bhaktehe pradhanyam gun bhutatam. That bhakti is pradhanya. And what is Guni Bhut Bhakti? Bhakti in the secondary sense. So he says, Tadrik Bhakta Gurur Labhyam Darshayat Tadrik Aspada. So one should search a guru who is like this and attain it. Gurur Labhyam Darshayat Tadrik Aspada. And should show to a devotee Siu Trishu Kranta Prema Shanta Bhaktatva Muktata. So the outcome of these 3 types of bhakti which is described above, the Shuddha Bhakti will lead to Prema, pure love of God, and Gyan Mishra Bhakti, that will lead to Shanta Bhakta. Devotee who does not have any specific bhava or relationship with the Lord. And the third one, when bhakti is made secondary, then one will get mukti, sahaja mukti, liberation. So, evam panchadasadhyaya saptamaha sadhu sevata. He says in this way, the 15 chapters of the 7th canto are relished by a sadhu.
Babaji, what about the first 2 types? They will also get liberation?
Bhakti, love is naturally liberated states.
But
If you have love of God, then you are with God. You don't take bhakti.
So you immediately liberated.
Immediately liberated right from the beginning.
But if you have pure Vaishnava, no, pure devotion, it brings you anyway to liberation, no?
Yeah. So liberation is included in that naturally.
So what about the Karma Mishra Bhakti?
Karma Mishra Bhakti, you go to heaven. So this is the description of, in general, of the whole canto. Now he comes to the present chapter.
And this Shanta Bhakta, let's say, they don't have a specific relation with God, but now you say that they go to heaven.
Well, that is Karma Mishra.
Okay. So then where they go? They go to
They go to Vaikuntha. They live in Vaikuntha,
like straw,
like yogi,
grass.
meditating, living in the mountain, in a cave.
In
alone.
Vaikuntha.
Yes.
I thought they become kind of grass. No, because grass gives pleasure.
No, they just stay aloof.
They stay with
So they are like Atmarama.
Atmarama, yes.
So I never know that.
So they see the Lord in the heart and they're happy with that. They meditate on Him.
Can there be still some change
No, not
once
so.
they're there?
No.
Because
Once you are there, you are eternally like that. Because you like that.
they are satisfied with what they have.
Yeah, they are everybody is satisfied in the spiritual world. Nobody is dissatisfied. This thinking, this is high, this is low, is here. There are no things like that. Everybody is perfect. And everybody is fully satisfied with whatever relationship or service one is doing to the Lord.
So then what is the difference? Because one sect of yogi, they go up and down from the planet. They go higher planet, then they come down to the earth and they come down. And this type of yogi?
That is if your goal is to go to heaven.
Depends on
That is when you are performing karma. That is called karma yogi. The word yogi is used for karma yogi, jnana yogi, ashtanga yogi, bhakti yogi. So you have to see which kind of yogi you are talking about.
No, we're talking about these people who are...
So these are bhakti yogis.
These are bhakti yogis.
But jnanishta bhakti yogi. Mixed with jnana.
Can I just ask you a question about the Sanskrit? Is it Syus Trishu Kramata Prema Shanta Bhakta Tvam Uktata?
Yes.
So is it Muktata or Uktata?
Bhaktatvam uktata.
Uktata. And is there a Visarga at the end of Uktata?
Hmm?
Do you have a Visarga at the end of
No.
Uktata?
तत्र तु प्रथमे विष्णोर वैषम्यं वारयन् मुनिः तस्य पार्षदयोराह संक्षेपात्रिजनोः कथाम्. So now in this particular chapter, it says in the first chapter out of these 15, the Muni, that means Sukadeva Goswami, he will dispel the doubt about the biased nature of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu Vaishamyam Varyan Muni. And then he, in brief, he is going to explain the story of the two associates of Lord Vishnu, how they took 3 births. 3 Janaho Katham Sankshepat Ah. So because this Jay and Vijay were cursed, if you remember the story from 3rd Canto, and they took 3 births. They became Hiranyakashipu and Yaksha. Then they became Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And then they became Shishupal and Dantavakra. And they met Krishna. Then met and they went back to their position. So this will be stated here briefly. So now we come to the verse. Purva skandhante hataputraha diti shakrapashni grahena vishnuna Manduna shoka deeptena jvalati paryachintet. Iti indra pakshapata lakshanam Vishnor vaishamyam asahamana iva swayam avagata siddhantopi mahamunes tasya mukhadapi samajanam amrit ashvadayitum aha samayitri. So he says that towards the end of previous canto, there was this sloka which described Diti's grief because her sons were killed. Hatputra Diti Sakrapashni Grahini Vishnuna, by Vishnu, who took the side of Indra. And out of anger and grief, she was burning in her heart and she was thinking how to take revenge. So, remembering this verse, Parikshit Maharaj, he was unable to tolerate the biased nature of Lord Vishnu. So how Vishnu can do that?
Biased, but means siding? No?
Biased means not being equal to all,
Not being equal.
favoring somebody. So Swayam Avgat Siddhantopi, he says although he himself understood the principle behind it, why he is silent, but he wanted to hear it from the mouth of the great sage Sukadeva Goswami, so that the other people who have assembled there, they could also relish the explanation of this behavior of Vishnu, because there is a very deep meaning behind it. On the periphery or on the surface, it looks as if he is biased, but then when is not. So Parikshit Maharaj, he personally knew the meaning of his behavior, but yet he wanted that Sukadeva Goswami explains, so that everybody, if anybody has a doubt, then it is clear. So this is the quality of great people, that even when they know, they ask question so that others can benefit. Because the question may not come in others' mind. Or even if the question comes, they may not be able to phrase it properly or ask it out of some hesitation. And especially in this assembly, he was the main student. Sukadeva Goswami was speaking directly to him. Others were just listening. So usually when there is a class and there is one chief student to whom the teacher speaks, and others are also sitting and listening. So therefore he is asking this question. Samayati Priti in 3 verses. Samasya Katham Vaishamyam. So the analysis, 3 points are raised. Because it says Samaha, Priya, Sruhit. 3 words he used. That he is Samaha, he is equanimous. Katham Vaishamyam. Then how he can behave in a biased manner. Number 1. Then the second word is Priya. He is very dear. He is a loving person. So Priyahasya Katham Asuresu Pritya Bhava. He loves everybody. So how is it that he did not love the Asuras and he killed them? Number 3, Sruhid. Sruhid means one who has a good heart. The word heart comes from Hrid. And Su means beautiful. One who has a Sobhana, Hrida, beautiful heart. Which means who likes to do good to others.
To look good or to be good?
Who likes to do good to others, not look. Looking good is not important. Doing good is important. So, then how he can, when you do good to others, then you also look good.
So you want to look, but you are not especially good. It can be both.
Yeah.
I think.
But if you do good to others,
You look good.
then you look good anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how you look.
Okay.
So that is the beauty. So danena padena tu kankadena vibhati kaya karuna parana. So the beauty of the hand is in giving charity, not putting bracelet. Right? Srotam sutena natu kundalena. The beauty of the ear is not by the earring, but by hearing. So these are the beauties. So the real beauty is vibhati kaya karuna paranam. The body of beautiful people is endowed with the ornaments of karuna, grace, mercy. That is beautiful. So therefore he says, Sruhidasya katham te suvasvahada. He is Sruhida, he is good-hearted. So how he behaved in a wicked manner, ill manner towards asuras. How is possible? This is question. Nacha indradibhis tasya sukham siddhayati ityatastati pakshapata iti vacham. Someone can say, well, he did this because he can benefit from Indra. So he says, no, that's not possible. It is not possible that he can get any benefit from Indra. It is Indra who can get benefit. So to say this, he says, Nishrayasa. Nishrayasa means Paramananda. So you help someone, you do good to others sometimes so that you can get some favor in return. And the outcome of favor is that you will be happy. Whatever that favor may be, maybe he can give you some money, some promotion in the office, try to flatter your boss. So ultimately the result is ananda, happiness. But Lord is Paramananda. He is the personification of bliss. And that bliss is not temporary. Sometimes you are happy for a short period, but he is eternally happy. So therefore he has nothing to gain from Indra by helping him. Therefore why did he behave in such a way? So Paramananda eva Atma Swarupam. His very nature is Paramananda, supreme bliss. Not that bliss is coming from outside. He is made of it. Like sugar is naturally sweet. In water or tea, you have to put sugar, then it becomes sweet. It came from outside. So that is an upadhi. But this is swabhavik, pratik. Tasya nahi sukh swarupasya kasyadanya sukham sadhi. So because he is very personification of happiness, then his happiness cannot come from anyone else. And then maybe just to get even with the asuras, because he does not like the asuras. So he says, no. Nacha asuradibhir udvejikais tasya dukham bhavet. The asuras, asura means who disturbs others. One who is a disturbing agent is called asura. So someone may do it by plan, someone may do it without plan, knowingly, unknowingly, who is causing disturbance to others, that is asura. So he says that nobody can disturb him. He is immune to disturbance. He has such immunity that no asura can disturb him. So therefore he says, Vidveshaita Nayaviti, Asurabhya Udvego Nasti Yato, Na Vidveshastata. And because the asuras do not disturb him, he does not dislike them. He dislikes somebody who causes anxiety, stress, disturbance to him, some problem. But he does not get. And why? Because he is agunasya. He is free from the gunas of Prakriti. He is transcendental. Means this disturbance, the waves of disturbance does not approach him. He cannot catch these waves. It's like you talk with somebody, somebody uses an abusive word for you, then you become disturbed. Or somebody sends you a hate mail, then you get disturbed. So why you get disturbed? Because you catch the waves of disturbance. If you don't catch, then you will not be disturbed. You read it, you smile, and you say, I don't catch it. So Lord is like that. He is not tuned to disturbance. Why he is not tuned to disturbance? Because he is tuned to Paramananda. You can only be tuned to one thing. You have your radio, so you can only catch one station at a time. You cannot have two stations. So he catches to the Paramananda station. And he does not catch the Vidvesha station, the hate station. Therefore he is not disturbed. So therefore he does not hate the asura. He doesn't know what the asura is doing. It is the devotees who catch it and they tell him. Then only he gets. Therefore he says, Paritrana and sadhuna vinasha samskritam. He doesn't know that this asura is causing trouble. He doesn't know this. He is too busy. When somebody goes and tells something in his ear, Brahma goes and sits on the ocean, Shirodak ocean, and starts relaying these waves to him. So So he listens to that because Brahma is a devotee. So he says, what? My devotee is saying something. He says, yes, this Hiranyakashipu is too much trouble here. So then he says, okay, don't worry, I am coming. So then he comes. So Gunan Anugraha Nigrahadin Prati. So he says that iti na sumahabhaga Narayana Gunan Prati Sansya Sumahanjab. That my doubt has arisen about the qualities of Narayana. Which qualities? Anugraha and Nigraha. Because these are two, that he is blessing Indra and he is chastising Hiranyakashipu. Anugraha and Nigraha. So he says, how can he have, because earlier he said he is sama, he is equal. He doesn't bless anybody, he doesn't chastise anybody. So he says, this is a great doubt which arises in my mind, please clarify this. So this is a very nice question, and now Sukadeva Goswami will answer it. Very amazing answer, very wonderful, something to be meditated upon. So we'll read that tomorrow. Today we meditate on the question. Yes.
A lot of mistakes.
About the relation between desire and disturbance.
Desire is a disturbance itself.
Itself, yeah. But
Asahi parvam dukkham, nairasyam parvam sukham. Because desire means that you are not happy where you are. Right?
incomplete.
You have to change something. You are sitting here and then you desire, okay, I want to drink juice. That means you have to move from here. You are not satisfied being here. So, yes.
But desire, this is something that made human out of monkey.
So that's why they are disturbed and they're disturbing everybody.
What?
Desire is source of progress.
They disturb the whole. Yes, desire is a progress if it is used for Krishna. Otherwise, being desireless, you are like a stone. So being desireless does not mean becoming like a stone piece, but changing your desire to serve Krishna and his devotees. As he says, Padiya Priya Dasyaya. What is that? Mam Aham Dade. Padiya Priya Dasyaya, Mam Madiyam Aham Dade. So that desire we should have. That is the progress. Otherwise, human beings are, where is the progress? Monkeys are better.
You can say it.
People, you go to hospital, you go to prison houses. So suffering. Monkeys, no hospital, no prison.
No pollution, no
No
creating pollution.
So this is all because of wrong desires.
So this being satisfied within himself or this complete satisfaction
So to desire, Anyavilasvita Sunyam, Gyan Karma Dhenavritam, Anukullena Krishna Muslimah. That should be our desire. No other desire, Anyavilasvita Sunyam. Only one desire. Giving pleasure to the supreme pleasurable person.
Christian is possible a Muslim who should have devotees.
What is that?
If they're not Krishna, don't know Krishna, Christian, Muslim, he knows only Brahman. But
He doesn't know Brahman also.
not Brahman, but not creation is like level of Brahman. They know Krishna. Look at how many universe creation. If they can become pure devotees,
Yeah, if you understand,
if they have served to Jesus Christ pure devotees. It's possible if I have soul not to God, does no soul to pure devotees, possible come to Krishna Loka, if I sell to Jesus Christ, have sold to Jesus Christ.
If I serve,
If I have a few devotees of have sold to Jesus Christ, and
Jesus
follow
Christ,
four principles,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, and following four principles, and chant Hare Krishna, but not go to temple Krishna, some devotees. But they have so in church, Christian church, but they love Jesus Christ, not have knowledge about Krishna. Jesus Christ can take the
Well, we have to see whether they really love Christ or not. If they really love, then that is good. Whether they actually love or not, this is not easy to understand.
The people become what.
That's why we are doing this analysis here. So real love is like Christ himself. That he was so much troubled, but he did not give up. Same you read about Prahlad. Prahlad was troubled even more than Christ. Christ's trouble was over. He was crucified and then it was finished. Prahlad was troubled for a long time, but he did not give up. So that is pure. So then one has to see whether somebody loves like that, because that's love. Otherwise you love because of your own benefit. That is different.
But then you spoke the other day about the couple love. But anyway, between human, it can never be a pure love.
It is possible if we understand Krishna. It is possible.
Yeah. But there is, in
But
two
without
human,
God-
there is always a little bit an interest in something.
Yeah, but without God it is not possible. If both are devotees of God, then it is possible. Otherwise not. Okay. So we stop.